Hi guys, it's me again. So we're keeping solving trigonometric equations. So today now we're gonna use the unit circle and the triangles. Now we're really gonna use it. You're gonna see how. So this is what we're gonna do. We have a parenthesis and we have two different functions. So I'm gonna take this cosine x, I'm gonna equal to 0, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna equal to 0 and solve for the trigonometric function. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. So equal to 0 and solve for x. X is 1/2. And I have sine. Sine in letters is y over r. So the y is positive. So the quadrants that the y is positive is 1 and 2. So the triangle that have the y equals 1 and the r is 2 is my triangle of 30 degrees. So my first answer is x equals 30 degrees because in the first quadrant, and if it's in the second quadrant it's 180 minus 30. So my second answer is 150. Okay, this is what's going on when cosine x equals 0. Have 0 over a number, right? And the number is r. So I have to look where the x is 0. So in the unit circle, this angle right here, the x is 0. And also here, my x is 0, just like here. So what are my answers when cosine of x is 0? Is x equals 90 degrees and x is 270 degrees. So how many answers do I have? I have 4 answers in these problems. But in Alex, we're gonna have to change to radians. So I convert my answers in radians. 90 degrees is pi over 2, 270 is 3 pi over 2, 30 is pi over 6, and 150 is 5 pi over 6. So 4 answers for this problem when I have parentheses. Okay, now I have this expression. Do you see? This is sine squared x minus 2 sine x minus 3. I can rewrite this as, this is to the second power. So this is like x to the second power. This is minus 2x, and this is minus 3. So why am I writing this like that? So I can factor. I have to find two numbers that multiplying give me negative 3 and subtracting is negative 2. So the answers are x equals negative 3 and x equals plus 1. Why? Because minus 3 plus 1 is negative 2 and negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Now I'm gonna come back to write this as terms of sine. So this is sine x minus 3 in parentheses and sine x plus 1 in parentheses. Okay, so now I take the parentheses equal to 0 and solve for sine x. So this is subtracting, here is positive. So I take this, sine x plus 1, I equal to 0 and solve for sine x. So sine x equals negative 1. So for this part, Do you remember that the range of the graph of sine of x, it goes from -1 to 1? So this number is out of range of the sine x. Also, you can prove if you type shift sin of 3, it gives you a math error. So this one doesn't have a solution. So no solution for this part. Now for this part, I have sine equals -1. Sine is y over r. So I have to look where the y is -1. So here the y is -1. So my answer is that's the 270 degrees. So if I convert that in radians, is 3 pi over 2. So 3 pi over 2 is the only solution for this equation. Let's solve this one. 3 tangent squared 91 equal to 0. So I'm gonna solve for the tangent. So this is negative, goes positive. This one is multiplying. It goes dividing. Okay, but now I have to the second power. So what does that mean? That tangent x equals plus minus the square root of 1 over 3. And also, what's the square root of 1? Is 1. So it is plus minus 1 over square root of 3. So tangent in letters is y over x. Okay, so what triangle has the y1 and the x square root of 3? That's a triangle of 30 degrees. Okay, now I have to look for the quadrants where tangent is positive. The y and the x are positive. So this is quadrant 1, 30 degrees. And also, if this is negative and negative, the result is positive. So it's also in quadrant 3. This is when tangent is positive. And now I have to looking for where tangent is negative. Tangent is negative in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So how many answers I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have 4 answers. So my answers are 30 degrees, 150 because I subtract 180 minus 30, and then 180 plus 30, that's 210, and 360 minus 30, so that's 330. But remember, in Alex, the answers are in radians. So my answers in radians is x equals pi over 6, x equals 5 pi over 6, x equals 7 pi over 6, and x equals 11 pi over 6. So 4 answers for this problem. Because I have plus and minus square root of 1 over square root of and square root of 3. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Solve the classwork.